There's the update. My horrible little yellow-faced hen finally went in there and laid an egg. I have to clean that cage. Anyway, so everybody's on eggs. It has delayed. So this is Unakite, who is proving to be a worthy daddy with his new mate. His last mate, I tried him with her twice, and she just couldn't make it. Oh, she jumped out this time. They got their first two. So they are 2 for 2. She has 1 more embryo in here and 4 more over here. She can't keep 4 babies, so if all of them hatch, I'll have to find a place for that last baby. But I have room. This pair, this is Dacite and his girl. These are my last rainbow pair that I'm breeding. First step rainbows. There is Dacite. He's an opaline. And she's a gray wing. And they have 2 for 2. She has 2 more embryos in there, which she cannot keep all of those. So when she hatches out the next one, the next egg will get bumped down here. And if this gal hatches out all 4, then again, I'll have to find another place for that last baby. This girl has 2 Sif, Bubba Jr. and Sif embryos in there that are cooking along nicely. None of the rest of them were fertile. So apparently Sif had been far enough away from Bubba Jr. that those last few eggs weren't fertile. This girl is going to get Colorado's last 3 chicks when they come along. And they are all timed well. So one of the secrets to the community breeding, and by the way, this is the first time I'm going to have 4 hens all working on raising babies at the same time. So one of the secrets is the babies all have to be the same age so that you don't have one hen jumping ship while the other ones are still deep in feeding babies. So this guy is still working with 2 girls, this little green girl and the other hen over here. And their hatch date for the first chick is the 21st. Hers is the 21st. And hers is the 21st. And by the time she gets her babies, their hatch date will be within 2 days of that. So everybody's chicks are going to be the same age. So that means when hens get to that dangerous place where they want to go start another nest, one of the things that they can do is attack a less dominant hen's nest, kill all of her babies, and take over her nest. Clearly, we do not want that. So if everybody's babies are the same age, then that means I can pull all the hens at the same time and leave the daddies to do the job. Or I can pull all the nest boxes at the same time and pour all the babies out on the bottom of the cage. Either way, that will stop the hens from doing the dangerous reset. This is Nile and Flo. Flo was on 7 eggs, so I threw a blank one out. I think it was the first one she laid. You can kind of tell after a while when eggs are getting stale. But all the rest of them have embryos in them. So she's going along gangbusters. Obviously, she's not going to raise all those. So what are we going to do with them? This pair, Congo and Belle, her name is Belle, she's part of the French group, have 2 embryos. One of them is currently in that box down there, but I'm going to bring it back over here in another day or 2. I just need to make sure she's not going to lay any more eggs so I can then cull her nest down, because she has 6 eggs in there. And I don't like to leave a hen with more than 6 eggs to sit on because they have a hard time keeping them all warm. And then you start losing embryos for no reason at all. So what I'll do is wait for another day or 2, check to make sure there's no other fertile eggs in there, and I'll reduce her nest by 2 and then bring her other embryo back over here again. So she'll have 5 eggs with 2 live embryos. This girl up here has 3 embryos as of today. However, as the little note says, their air sacs look weird on 2 of those embryos. That can mean a couple of different things. It can mean that the egg is drying out. and in which case meaning the embryo probably won't survive till hatching. And what's the other thing it can mean? I've forgotten. So that maybe there's 2 embryos in there or something like that. So I've seen this before. Happens in older hens, and baby is definitely getting older now. And it usually doesn't end in a live chick. But he does have one egg in there that has a normal air sac. So hopefully we'll get at least one, and that will be where those extra babies from these 2 nests go if they need a home. So this pair, this is Thames and Loren, and they are sitting on their own 4 blank eggs and 1 other egg, but that's not the egg they're going to raise. That egg is going to go back over here with its mother, and they're going to end up with the other 3, with the last 3 eggs out of Nile and Flo's cage. Okay, so that's the whole future hatching thing. Current hatching thing, obviously we have our second babies here as expected. I did not get a baby here yet. This is Fontaine, who's bringing up Colorado's babies, and I began to worry that maybe she had fizzled some embryos, so I took the nest box today and candled them all, and all 5 eggs have thriving embryos in them, and one of them, the air sac is starting to recede a bit, so that means that one's going to hatch in the next 48 hours. So it's going to happen. These 2 I had to take. They have 2 of Shakti and Amenadiel's babies in here, the 2 big ones, and they have one of their own that has just a few days behind the Shakti and Amenadiel, so that's their quota of 3. But they had a 4th embryo in there, and I thought, well, I'll foster it over here because they only have 2 embryos, and this is a valuable pair, so I definitely want that embryo. But I was worried that the second embryo over here would hatch at the same time as them, and then I wouldn't be able to tell the babies apart if they all came out sky blue. But I need not have worried, because yesterday I pulled that egg out of here because the older babies were making it all poopy and kicking it around, and they were just too big. So, you know what? I'm going to pull them. And put it over here, and when I opened the box, I saw that their second embryo had already hatched, and a full 24 hours later, that one hatched, and I can tell them apart by size, and that doesn't change. Aster never wants to let me see.
Miss Aster, I want to see these babies of yours. Now, what is she? Come on, out you go.
So I can obviously see big, medium, and small, and they're doing fine. So I'm confident I'll be able to tell them apart up until I band them. So that's good news. These 3 over here, they're little giant. They look like giants compared to all the rest of them. Hi, Little Booth.
Oh, you're so cute. Look at that.
So what's the little one doing down here? This one is clearly an opaline and a yellow face. She's going to be pretty, and I know it's a girl because the opaline is sex-linked, and since neither parent is an opaline, that means that her father is split, and she must be a girl. And then there's Big Brother with a mama's little crest up there. Aren't you just a handsome little baby with a crest? You look like you got a part on your hair. He's very cute. He's very cute. Put me back in my nest. So with such distinctive older siblings, I'm kind of waiting to see what little guy's going to come out like here. I know he's not an opaline because he's gray down. I'm hoping for the yellow face, but I can't really tell. Oh, he's squawking at me. He says, I hate you. He hasn't forgiven me for banding him yet. Yellow face? I don't know. Maybe not. You may be boring. Maybe you'll be really big or something. But you're handsome, so we'll keep you. So they're adorable. So anyway, things are going along. I do not need to cull I culled the 2 middle chicks here, but other than that, I do not need to cull eggs this time around, which is kind of typical of a fall breeding because the fertility isn't what it normally would be. So, and of course I activated the fosters. I would have had to do a huge amount of culling over here, but I activated the fosters and they're going to cover a lot of that. So that is 3, 2, 3, and 3. So 11 chicks that I did not have to cull because I had the fosters going. And like I said, so my thing with the fosters has always been, why let them take up all of this room if they're not going to give me maximum production? This is the first time that I, provided all goes well, that I'm actually going to get, all 4 hens raising chicks for me. So I'm tickled pink about that. So I'm kind of watching. I keep seeing the male blue feeding this hen here, but I haven't seen him feeding this one a lot. So now I'm kind of wondering, I am told that when you get a cock with 2 hens, that once it comes time to start feeding babies, he will drop one of the hens. And I'm beginning to wonder if he isn't dropping this blue over here, because I keep seeing him feeding that one over there. But it might be this that I'm walking in at the wrong time. So we'll see. Close watch. Whoever it is that he doesn't help is going to raise only 2 chicks instead of 3. She has 3 in here right now. She has 2. I assumed because she's the second wife that she was going to be the one that got dumped. But I don't know if that's true. We'll see. Either way, if this one is the one that is going to be raising on her own, then I will just pull her 3rd chick and drop it over there. So, because a hen will have a much easier time only raising 2 chicks. And the chicks will come out of good size and everything else. So things are going along swimmingly. All kinds of little pinkies. But really, the floodgates are going to open. And these guys are hatching out their 3rd chicks day after tomorrow. And then the day after that, around the 20th and the 21st, the floodgates are going to open because the Foster's chicks will start hatching out and, well, this one's the 24th. Okay, so these guys are going to go, then they'll fill up, then the Fosters are going to go, and by the time their 3 chicks hatch out, these guys will be ready to hatch out up here. So, actually, I have a nice space. I'm going to get a steady stream of babies. So, okay, I'll take it.